me do this real quick. Sorry, you're like a little bit blurry. Oh, there we go. Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. All right, let me hop on over here on my computer. Make sure we are turned over to subscribers only. Hey, hello. Hopefully you guys had some time to check out the buy it nows. I put a few things in there. It's just one thing after the next, but I'm okay. Yeah. Ohio is melting. In what sense? Is it hot in Ohio right now? Is the snow melting? All right, let me see live. Edit. Oh, all the snow is gone. Yeah, same here. All our snow is gone. Subscribers, we're gonna do 2 years, which is a little aggressive, but we're gonna do it. 2 years. So what that means is if you are over on YouTube, and oh hey, thank you, Crystal. If you are over on YouTube, and you would like to make comments and hang out with us, I invite you to come over here to Knicknacks.net. That is where everybody is hanging out. I'm trying to get a better angle here for the coffee channel. There, maybe that'll work. So come on over, come hang out with us on Knicknacks.net. That is where the action is happening. That's where we're all hanging out. So come and hang out with us. Oh, I don't know, actually. I think we're definitely going to be there the first day. That's for sure. Because we're getting in on Thursday. So we're definitely going to be there the first day. For sure. I can guarantee that. Other than that, I don't know. All right, let me see. I got notes. Yeah, Knicknacks is the place to be. That's right. Oh, there's our notes. Thank you, Christina. We didn't have time to go over the notes yesterday because I was MIA, so I may be adding things in. It's my fault, really. But let's go over the notes together, shall we? All right. Looks like we have about 200 in here. So I'm going to get started. So we have currently 36,850 members, which is fantastic. We've grown by 529 new members since last week, which isn't as crazy as the week before, but the week before we had a really big event. We had our Owl About Valentine's Day event. I had to think about it. We had our Owl About Valentine's Day event the weekend before, and I think that definitely helped boost those numbers. So still 529 new members is crazy. So welcome to all of our new members. Welcome to Knicknacks. We are excited to have you as part of our community. Oh, thank you for the raid, Amanda. I hope you had a good sale. So welcome new members. We're excited to have you. Knicknacks is growing very quickly, and it's a wonderful community of buyers and sellers. We try to keep it positive, yeah. So hopefully you find a home here and you enjoy it. For sellers, we have 30 new sellers this week. Thank you very much. We have 30 new sellers this week. So we're at 4,106 sellers. And that's wonderful. So welcome to all of our new sellers. Welcome to Knicknacks. If you would like to sign up to go live, you can find in the chat channels, there is a chat channel. Let me get to Knicknacks real quick. Under the Get Started, you should be able to go to the chat channel. Oh, sorry, Knicknacks information. And there is an apply to go live. Once you are a seller, you will see apply to go live. So if you would like to sell live, you can click on that button. You can sign up for an onboarding. If that's not your thing, you don't have to feel pressured to go live. It's not a requirement. It's totally up to you. But if you want to give it a try, That's where you would find it. So go ahead and click on that, sign up for an onboarding. I think Sienna has 2 onboarding sessions a week. And basically, you're not like getting permission to go live. It's not like you have to apply to go live. Like it says, really, you're just doing the onboarding and you're learning the ropes. You're just learning how to go live, the buttons to press and all of that. So send me a message. Send me a message. That's usually the quickest way. Although I will say that my messages, people have figured out where to find me. They figured out where to find me. And so all my messages that used to be going into Instagram and Facebook and all the other places are now being funneled into Knicknacks. And so they're not all Niknax related anymore, which used to be the case. And it used to be all nice. I'd be like, oh, look at my Knicknacks messages. But now they're not all Knicknacks. So they're getting lost is what I'm saying. So community at knickknacks.net might be your best bet to email because we do a little bit more filtering there. So actually, you know what? Email community at knickknacks.net because if you send it to me, it might get missed at this point. So we have 96,100 listings. Yes, I have been working on categories. Yeah, I can talk about that as well. But I will write that down because I don't think it's in our notes. But I can touch on that a little bit. Putting it on a bright orange Post-it. But if I forget, you guys can remind me in the comments. So we have 96,100 listings. That's 800 new listings from last week. So that's exciting. Make sure you're browsing through our Buy It Now listings. I've been seeing a lot more Buy It Now listings popping off, which is very exciting. So I think people are catching on to the fact that if they're buying Buy It Now, they don't have to mark their calendars like for a live sale and then wait and then like, oh, hey, can you run this item? Like they're like, oh, if I just type it in the search bar, I can just buy it right now. And I think it's also helping that we now have our own URL and the search bar directs people directly to our Knicknacks listings. So they're not being sent to other places in district, which is wonderful. So we are living on our own island now, which is so nice. So we have that. So congratulations to all of our Buy It Now sellers who are making more sales. That's wonderful. It makes me happy. It makes me happy because I love to see that. Yes, I do. I think we are going to touch on that, Mary. I'm going to write that down just in case. We have updates to the guidelines this week. Happy February. Okay, good. Thank you, Christina. Happy February. Christina has a fun fact for us this week, and that is that February comes from the Latin word februra, which means to cleanse in Latin. So we're cleansing in February. So that means no more sickness, right? We're all going to be nice and cleansed and well and no more sickness. I think that's what that actually means. Yeah, everyone take your monthly showers. We're going into February. We're gonna take our monthly showers, wash your hair, once a month, and get ready for it. So here we go. February is associated with the season of winter in the Northern Hemisphere and early spring in the Southern Hemisphere. And also we have Valentine's Day coming up. Sage, holy water, cayenne pepper, all the things. Let's do some cleansing. I'm just going to open the windows and pull out the Lysol personally. That's what we're going to do at my house. We have a dedicated space for Black history, education, and heart health awareness, to name a few. So I'm excited for February. Here on Knickknacks, we're going to have Frenzy, which I feel like a lot of people are gearing up for. I know a lot of our sellers are scheduling their shows, and I'm seeing a lot more Fenton getting loaded into the marketplace. So that's pretty awesome. So if you want to get a head start on your Fenton purchases, go type in Fenton in the Knicknacks search bar, and you might be able to scoop up some nice Fenton. Today is also National Homemade Soup Day. So that's exciting also. Now let's talk about Niknax. That was a lot. That was a lot. Christina, I didn't know you were going to like put me through all of these notes. I'm like, okay, what are we talking? We're talking about homemade soup. I guess I need to make soup for dinner, which is fine because that's really the only thing I'm capable of making. All right. So we've been having a lot of lives lately. I think I saw 12 simultaneous lives happening in the past week, which has been crazy. We're just like, I say it every week, but I feel like every single week we're hitting records. We had one of our best weekends this past weekend, even without having a Knicknack sponsored event. So that was very exciting. I was like watching our numbers and I was like, what is this? Like we didn't even have an event and we were like crushing it. And I was like, this is so fantastic. So, thank you everyone. I know, and it's winter. We're crushing it. I mean, I know like as far as our booth goes, our physical location is slow. Things are slow, but Knicknacks has just been amazing. Thank you everyone. Congratulations. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. One thing I did notice in our analytics that I wanted to bring to your attention is that because I have a more in-depth look at analytics now, and I've been like studying. I love analytics. I love looking at the different things. And so one thing I've noticed about our analytics is that the nighttime shows are really where it's at. I mean, I feel like you guys kind of probably already know that. That's why people schedule them later at night anyway. But if you are able to hold off and have a later show, I'm seeing that after 9 p.m. Eastern, if you're holding a show after, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, everybody's in bed anyway. After 9 p.m. Eastern is really when things start to ramp up. And actually, I'm seeing after midnight. Which is crazy. Even after midnight, it's a different crowd, so people are having sales and I'm seeing like a spike in new buyers after midnight, which I'm seeing this data for the first time on my end. Like it's always been there, but now I'm having a look at this data and I'm seeing after midnight, we're getting a spike in new buyers. So there you go. So keep that in mind as as you guys are scheduling your live sales. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So Christina points out in our notes, I think a lot of people, are night owls. I know for me, at night when I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed, I'm like laying in bed and I'm like scrolling, I'm like going on, I'm checking things out. I'm like over on Knicknacks. I'm like, who's live right now? So I'm guilty of it. I'm like on there and I'm looking through like who's live. I'm going into this, I'm not always commenting, but I'm going into the sales and seeing what's going on and stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are doing that. So I think that's where it's coming from a lot of the time. So don't be afraid. Like if it's late at night and you're like, oh, everyone's going to be asleep, like, give it a shot, try it out. Oh my gosh, the watercolor, isn't that amazing? I was like, this is so pretty. I have to put that in the buy it now. Congratulations. That's a beautiful piece. So yes. So that was one of the things I did want to touch on this week in our notes because I thought you guys you could put that to good use. So another thing that we haven't talked about in a while is social media and how you could also boost your sales by posting through social media. And this is something that District has been putting out a lot and talking to us about is, pushing out on social media as far as like magic comments, multitasking. Multitasking is what I'm trying to do right now, and it's not really working out. Multicasting, like if you have a Facebook page, if you have, Instagram, you can cast to Instagram. You can. It's not something I do because you have to get like a code, and I'm always last minute. And so I don't have the time to do all that, but you can cast Instagram. So if you have an Instagram following, we get a lot of applications where people are selling on Instagram and then they apply for Niknax. If you want to continue selling through Instagram after you've applied for Niknax, you can do that. You can do your magic comments on Instagram, and you can sell your items. When people put claim, they can purchase them directly from Knicknacks. So you can use those two pieces like together. So keep that in mind. And another thing is, if you don't have social media, it's definitely worth at least having something, at least putting yourself out there. Things have changed so much in the market. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't need that. But honestly, as things have changed over the years, it really does help to have social media. It does help you stand out. I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to make sales if you don't have social media, but the social media does help help you stand out. You need 1,000 followers to cast. Do you need 1,000 followers? Oh, maybe through Instagram. Oh, through Instagram. Okay. Through Instagram, you need 1,000 followers to cast. Okay. Well, through Facebook, I think you can do it through Facebook, even like through your personal Facebook or through a Facebook page. I don't think you can cast through a group, but you can also do it on YouTube. But if you're casting to YouTube, make sure that you're setting it over to subscribers only, like I do, because as you guys have seen, the trolls just start piling in, and sometimes they could be wildly inappropriate. They love making inappropriate comments. We've learned that the hard way, haven't we? Okay. So check out the social media tip in the seller chat. There is going to be a social media tip in the seller chat for you guys to check out. Let's talk about the leaderboards. So it's not something I really look at very often, I'm going to be honest. But on Knicknacks, we have a leaderboard. Let me turn you guys up. You know what? I have like 7 million tabs open. So let me just move this out and it'll just be one tab. So it's not distracting. Here we go. Okay. So here on our Knicknacks page, we do have this tab here. That's a leaderboard tab. A lot of, I guess, a lot of people pay very close attention to this. It's not something I look at because on the back end is where I pay the most attention, and I'm looking at the numbers. There's an algorithm that controls the leaderboard. It's not based solely on numbers, and like I've said, I'm a data numbers kind of person, and I just want to know the numbers. I don't really, like, the algorithm doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. But here you can see, as far as the community, first, I'll say this resets every month. So at the beginning of the month, this will reset. So at the beginning of the month, you might be number 2,000 on the list. And day number 2, you might pop up and you might be like number 50. Okay. So over the course of the month, you will possibly work up the ranks. That's how this works. So community tab includes members and sellers. That's how the community tab works. And then obviously we do have our sellers. So I will say this is not based solely on sales numbers. So this is not like by sales. It's not like, Macy is making the most money on the marketplace. That's not how this works. It's based on engagement. It's based on how often they go live. It's based on, how much they are profiting. It's based on so many different things. It's based on an algorithm. So that's how this works. So the more you're engaging, the more you're going live, the more you're listing as a buy it now seller. There's so much going into this. It's not just one thing. So that's what's affecting these numbers. And throughout the month, you're going to see these numbers change. So I wouldn't spend too much time fixating or concentrating on these numbers. I wouldn't worry too much about them. But that's I just real quickly, that's like an overview of how this works. So that's the leaderboard. All right. So could we remove the position from profile as an option? Oh yeah, that would be a great idea. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. You know, I couldn't find that actually. I couldn't find where that was on a profile because, oh, you know what? Am I on the leaderboard? Maybe that's why I couldn't find it. I probably am, right? I'm on the leaderboard. Where am I at? Oh my gosh, I'm probably at the very end. Crazy. Oh, there I am. I'm looking right at myself. Look, I'm number 58. Profile, but where does it show what number I am? Because I don't see where it says number 58. Go to one of my listings. Okay. It's opening. Oh, 57th on the leaderboard. I see it. Okay. All right. I see it now. Remove leaderboard status. I see it. Okay. Now, I will tell you, I do know that it is in the works to have reviews, which I feel like will kind of overshadow leaderboard status once there is the ability to have reviews. You know, so I feel like that'll really take attention off of leaderboard status once, it's like, okay, what does this seller's reviews look like? Do they ship on time? Stuff like that. So, but I will definitely bring this up, when we talk about it, when I have my meeting later this afternoon. So currently 4,110th. No way. Is that even a thing? I don't even think we had that many sellers. I don't think that's possible. Do we have that many sellers? I forget how many we have. I just said it like 5 minutes ago, but I already forgot. Oh, remember that on the 1st of every month, early in the morning, it'll be blank. All sales are made and activity happens. It'll start to fill. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was ever blank. I thought everybody just went in and then it just shuffled around. But I think every day it resets. It's not like you'll move around throughout the day. I think in the next day it'll refresh, and it's based on Pacific time, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right. So let's talk about guidelines, because I did update our guidelines and I would like to address that. I actually made quite a few updates on the guidelines. Let's see if I can pull those up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, no, I can understand why that would it would feel like it might be a reflection on you as a seller. All right, let me pull this up. Here we go. All right. So I added a few things, and I always highlight what I add so that you guys know I don't want you to be like caught off guard by additions to the guidelines. I don't want you to be like, oh, well, she's just adding in things as she goes. So every time I add something to the guidelines, I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to tell you what I've added to the guidelines. I also added this updated so that you know that this is when the guidelines have been updated for full transparency, so that you guys know, oh, we've made updates to the guidelines. I did a little rearranging. I moved up our mission statement. Please don't judge me for any possible spelling errors. So I moved our guidelines up towards the beginning because I feel like they were kind of lost farther down. So this has kind of been like an unofficial guideline, but I've added it as an actual guideline so that when people break the guideline, I can send them a warning message and say, hey, that's not okay. We don't do that here. But it's no, we talked about this last week, no price pleasing. Essentially what that means is if somebody's selling something, you're not in the chat saying, oh, you can get that cheaper over on eBay. That's not okay. You don't do that. Oh, you can get that cheaper over on Amazon. That's price pleasing and it's not okay. It's rude. It's not okay. So I've added that to the guidelines right here. No quoting prices from other venues in the chat. I might readjust the wording of that, but that's essentially what it means. And I put in parentheses, no price pleasing. No excessively tagging users in the chat. So I've seen this happening on other marketplaces where sellers will start tagging every single person they've ever known in their lifetime, and it's spamming. So I'm going to just put that out there as a as a rule before it becomes an issue. We're not going to allow for excessive tagging. I get like if you're in a sale and you see something that like you're like, oh my gosh, so and so would love this, and you want to tag them, but we're not going to allow for you to like start tagging everybody. It's kind of tacky, and it's just not a thing. So we're not going to do that. No excessively tagging others in the chat. Let's see. Sorry, I was just reading through. This is what the mods do. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. But it's not going to be a thing on Knicknacks. I mean, I can see the advantages, and this was one concern when I was told originally about the tagging feature coming out. I was like, I don't know about this, because this was one of my concerns of how it could be abused. And sure enough, it only took a little while, and that was what was happening. So I could see advantages and disadvantages to it. And I just want to make sure that if it's used, in a way that benefits everybody. Also, no bid shaming. I've seen this happening. And if it happens, I'm going to call you out for it. I'm going to call you out for it in the chat. And I'm going to instruct my admins to do the same. It's not something I normally do. I usually send a private message. But if I'm in a sale and I see someone bid shaming another buyer, I'm going to call you out for it right then and there. So this is, if somebody's buying, bidding on something and another buyer wants it, and they're going to shame that buyer. It's basically, so, if somebody, if somebody's buying multiple things in a show and somebody else comes in and they're like, hey, why don't you give somebody else a chance? Or basically somebody else comes in and like, hey, I really wanted that. Can you just like slow it down or something? That's bid shaming. Or, oh, I really wanted that. Like, or guys, don't bid on this because I want this. Stuff like that. So guilt tripping, basically. Yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay because, our sellers are here trying to make a living. And by bid shaming, you're taking away from our sellers. Yeah, it's mine. I collect it. Not okay. So if I see that happening, I'm going to call you out right then and there. I'm not going to wait and send you a message because, that's not going to help the situation right then and there. I'm going to call you out for it. And I am going to give any moderators, any admins permission right then and there to put a stop to it. Even if you're a seller and you see that happening, I'm going to back you up. If you need to say, you know what, let's not do that. It's against the guidelines. I'm going to back you up. Okay. So no bid shaming. No bid shaming. I added that to the guidelines. All right, let's see what else we've got. So you can go on there, you can read these. I'll probably unhighlight them shortly, but if you want to go in there and you want to see what all I added. Oh, if you want to go in there and you want to see You can see that. And let me scroll down. I think I added some more. I want to make sure. Oh, here, this has become an issue. And I know a ton of our sellers, unfortunately, have been affected by this in the past month to the point where I've been very upset by it. Unclaimed packages and return to sender. If you are a buyer on Knicknacks and you have your items delivered to a PO box, and those items are attempted delivery multiple times and are not picked up in a timely fashion and are then returned to the sellers, if there is an excessive number of unclaimed packages, that person will be suspended from Niknax. No questions asked. Yeah, Sam, has district reached out to you? Because I think I know that person. That's the person I'm referring to. That's the reason the rule is there. Okay. Does her username start with M? Yeah, okay. Can you reach out to district, because we already have about a dozen sellers. Yeah, we have 6 packages personally. So yeah, please reach out to district if you've been affected by that, because they are working with the sellers to get it straightened out. Yeah, you can send an email to us. You can CC us on the email. You can send it directly to district, but they are working. Yeah, they told you to work with her. Yeah, she's not responding. So you can reach out to us. My advice would be, if you received the items back, my advice is you can refund the original purchase price, but do not refund the shipping. All right. That's my best advice. But if you want to reach out to us, we can discuss it. Okay. All right. So this is now a rule. If you know the situation we're talking about, that buyer unfortunately has been banned from Knicknacks as a result, and now we have a guideline. So most of our guidelines are a result of situations that happen or we anticipate happening. So now we have a guideline to prevent that in the future. Because I want to be able to point to the guideline and say, listen, we have a guideline that says this. And so now, that's why this is the result. So I would reach out to district and see about the fees. All right. But please reach out to district so that they understand the scope of this situation, because I was trying to communicate that. What was that, Rebecca? I missed it. I just saw and shipping. Oh, I understand. Okay. So we also added listing requirements. This was something Mary mentioned. So we've always had listing requirements in the guidelines as buy it now and multi-day. We've added preloaded live listings. So this is if you're doing a sale and you have preloaded listings. If your listings are preloaded, we expect that you're going to include these items: condition report, measurements, nice clean photos, no stock images, family friendly, obviously, and then also multiple photos. This is something Bandit, I don't know if Bandit's here. Bandit is always like, multiple photos. So make sure you are including multiple photos. And I think I think a lot of our buyers would agree to include multiple photos. This is every single side, bottom, inside if there's an inside, or the top. The more photos you include, the better a buyer will be able to make a decision on whether they want to purchase something. Elsie was in here saying multiple items were purchased from her sale before she even had her sale. And I betcha that she had multiple photos taken so that those buyers could make an educated decision on whether they wanted to purchase those items. So multiple photos are going to lead to more sales. Okay. So make sure that you are taking as many photos as possible. Okay. It's very important. If you're just doing on the fly, and I do on the fly sales all the time. I know it's hard to like get all that information in there, multiple photos and stuff. Now, if you are converting that listing over to a buy it now, update your photos, update your listing, clean it up, all the things. All right. And I think that was it as far as updates. So this is open to everybody. You can go in, you can look at our guidelines. I see somebody's looking at the guidelines right now. But yeah, so you can go in, you can look at these. Like I said, every time I make updates, I'm always going to put a date up here. I'm always going to highlight the updates so that we have full transparency. You guys know what's going on. I'll talk about them in coffee chat. And we'll go through them together. Okay. So those were the updates this week as a result of instances that happen and all of those things. Okay. Yeah. Bottom is always very important, especially if you're, selling pottery or glass. I always want to see the bottom. I want to know if that bottom is smooth on a piece of glass, and if you watch my videos, the first thing I do when I pick up an item is I turn it over because the bottom tells me so much about the piece. It's like, yeah, I can look at it, but when I turn it over, I'm like, okay, now I know so much more about the piece than when I was just looking at it, All right, let's see. Let's get back to notes. So those were the guideline updates. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out. You guys can always reach out to community@knicknacks.net. You guys can always reach out to me with questions, concerns, complaints, anything, and I would be happy to respond. I'm not going to get salty with you. I'm not going to get mad. We can talk through stuff, even if we disagree. Please reach out to me. Okay, let's see what was next. Importance of screenshots. If you ever see anything, and this, and we've talked about this before, if you ever see anything around the marketplace that just doesn't sit right with you, make sure you're taking screenshots. Even if like you send it to us and we don't really act on it, it helps us to be aware of, It helps us to be aware of certain things that are happening. So please make sure that you're taking screenshots of things around the marketplace. And then, oh, hey, Mom.
Hey.
Hi.
Long time no see.
I know. Mom's here.
Land of the living.
So yeah, please make sure everyone says, hey, Mom. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
So that's really helpful to us, because when we hear like, oh, this happened or so-and-so did this, or, oh my gosh, this happened in a sale. Like I'm not going to reach out to that person based on he said, she said. I'm not going to take action against anyone. I'm not going to send anyone a warning. I'm not going to do any of that based on he said, she said. It's just, I can't do anything. But if I have something in front of me that's a screenshot showing me that he did this or she did that, then I can reach out to that person and be like, hey, listen, I saw that you did this, that, or the other. And then I actually have something. So otherwise it's just, gossip basically. All right. So, and also, even if, like I said, even if it's nothing, even if it's like, even if you just feel like it's not something, or even if you feel like, just keep your eyes open is what I'm saying. All right. Also, if you notice something of concern or something sus and you don't make us aware. Oh yeah, that's, so that's how we notice patterns and stuff. If we have one seller reach out to us about an issue and then we have another seller reach out to us about something that sounds similar, we're kind of able to connect the dots and we're able to be like, oh my gosh, something is happening. And then we have another seller reach out to us and we're like, okay, something's wrong. And then we're able to act and make sure that less sellers are affected. Or the same goes for buyers. You know, we have a buyer reach out to us, we have another buyer reach out to us, and we're like, okay, something's wrong. It just helps us act quicker. You know, so this situation with the unclaimed packages, we probably could have gotten to it a little bit faster. Then again, you know, packages moving through the post office as unclaimed go pretty slow. And as soon as they started arriving, we were getting messages and they're still showing up. I mean, I think we just got one a few days ago and it was like, here comes another one. But it really does help, you know, when you guys are just letting us know about things. Yes, some buyers and sellers have picked up poor habits from other platforms. You know, that's one thing Christina was telling me about another platform is that is no longer going to be handling customer service for sellers. And I guess some sellers are having meltdowns over it. But, you know, it's always been my opinion that you should be handling your customer service. I mean, we always handled our customer service. We didn't rely on a platform to handle it for us. And I'm always saying, you know, here on Knicknacks, you should be responding to your messages. You should be handling your customer service. So that's a bad habit that kind of, you know, might be taken from other platforms. All right, let's see. So remember the help desk. You can always send stuff to the help desk. It's community@knicknacks.net. We've been getting multiple emails a day, and they're very helpful. They're very helpful. So those have been coming in, and okay. Actually, that text came through. I just got the text alert again. Okay. Okay. Christina wants to send kudos to Shop the Vintage Shop because these non-night owlers said they are going to challenge themselves by doing some late night shows. So, Shop the Vintage Shop, kudos. You get this this week's kudos. Also, kudos to Hidden House Store for challenging herself every day. 30 minutes, 30-day sales last month. I did see that. That was pretty intense. So, Claudine, good job. That was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Our artists from Mainly Made. Now Larissa's doing it. All right. We'll be cheering you on. All right, so our artists from Mainly Made are moving over to Niknax. It's something we've talked about the last 2 weeks. And they are going to be hosting their art hangout on Thursdays here on Knicknacks, which has historically been a day that we don't have trains, but we are going to be having that train on Thursdays. It's just a low key like crafting art. Yeah, art. It's a fun one. So if you're just looking to chill and hang out, I would definitely recommend it. That's gonna be the only thing we're having going on Thursday. It's not like we're opening the floodgates and going to be allowing multiple trains. That's gonna just be the only thing we have going on Thursdays. But definitely take a look. You know, if you're just board on a Thursday and you want to pop in and hang out with our artists, I'm sure they would appreciate it. And always be checking their buy it nows because I would encourage our artists to be loading their buy it now on Thursdays. And I have been going through our spreadsheet that I received of sellers who are in Mainly Made and not in Knicknacks and figuring out who is active and who is not. So that's been one of my projects for the past week. Let's see. Reminder to go through the calendar of events all right. Let's go in the calendar of events real quick. So the calendar of events is in the chat channel. Let me check it out real quick. Calendar of events. Train station, calendar of events. All right. So if you're looking for the calendar of events, you will find it here under the train station chat. And we are going to click on it right here. Look at all those tabs. All right. So if you hover over these, I think, do I have to click on it? Oh, that's Knicknacks. Click on it. Oh, there you go. If you click on it, it is, hey, Sunny. If you click on it, it's going to show you who the conductors are. So this is a little bit of a different setup than what we previously had. So you will see the different sales that we have going on, the calendar, who is the conductor, all the things. So make sure you're checking out the calendar of events. You know what events are coming up. And yeah, calendar of events. And if you don't see your train on the calendar of events, you can reach out to Christina. Where's my tab? There it is. Okay. You can reach out to Christina at Knicknacks.net. Yeah, that's her new email. Community at Knicknacks has kind of become the help desk, but you can reach out to Christina at Knicknacks.net. So coming up, let's talk about what we have coming up. Coming up, we have Fast Friday Freight. Sign-up announcement will be today in the Gazette. The theme is Blooming Florals. I like that theme. I'm kind of feeling it because I'm kind of tired of this cold. So the theme is going to be Blooming Florals. It's 15-minute time slots, as always, and it is Friday the 7th. It's Friday the 7th. And I actually realized that the calendar is hanging up over here now. I don't know if I told you guys that. It apparently was hanging up over here the entire month. It was hanging there the entire month, and I kept looking over here, and it was over there the entire month. But it's still January. So, yeah. But anyway, the 7th is going to be is the Fast Friday Freight. So that's exciting. I know everybody always enjoys that. And I kind of like the theme because let's stop being cold and miserable and let's introduce some flowers, shall we? I think that was one of our first actual Knickknack sponsored trains. It was flowers, wasn't it? Didn't we do? Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun too. We should do that again, maybe. Let's think about it. Fenton Frenzy, February 22nd through the 24th. Oh, we still have openings. Sellers are asking to be on the wait list, but we still have openings. So there you go. There's still some openings on it. Handmade Market is February the 28th. Oh, that's posted in the train chat, Christina says. Handmade Market will be February the 28th this month. So stay tuned for that. And then we have another edition of You Can't Buy This Here, or You Can't Buy That Here. I think we're like running out of, we're kind of running out of subjects to look up, aren't we? What should we look up today on? Let's see if they'll even let me. They're probably going to prompt me for a thing. So every week, for those of you who are like, what is Raku? Okay, Kokeshi. Ooh, I like that one. So every week we go on Temu and we look for things that you can't buy on Knickknacks, or just so everybody is aware of what to look for and stuff like that. So I like the idea of Kokeshi. Let's look up Kokeshi. But I also have to like kind of look at the results to make sure that we don't end up with things that are questionable. All right, here we go. I don't know. I feel like those ones are maybe stolen, those images, because those look legit to me. I mean, some of them you're like, oh, that's Temu. But those ones look like they could have been taken from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? We can buy. I like that idea. You know what? Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should switch it up and do a little bit of both. We should look first on Temu, and then we should go over and look on Knickknacks at what you actually can buy. I like that. Oh, yeah, look at that. I wonder how that would actually turn out if you ordered it. I feel like it wouldn't look anything like that. Here is this one over here. I guess they have a lot of the nesting. The nesting ones seem to be popular. I think they got the Russian ones, the Matryoshka, is that how you pronounce it? Confused with the Kokeshi dolls. And there's a Nutcracker. I see these a lot at Goodwill, actually. She's $21.96 though. Look at that. That's so funny. So nesting dolls, apparently. Nesting dolls you have to look out for. Not so much the Kokeshis, but the nesting dolls. But I mean, for that, I mean, really just look for the signed ones. That's what I look for. I usually look for the ones that are signed. Does Temu have different sellers? I think they do. I think they do have different sellers. I think that's a thing. I think they have different sellers. Let's go over to Niknax and look at Kokeshi dolls. There's some pretty good ones on Niknax. I know that. I know Jenny K has been doing some Kokeshi sales. I've seen those. There's some really cute ones on Niknax. Look at this. All right, there you go. Some things you can buy. Oh, that kind of like, look at this one. That one's adorable. Oh, so cute. Connie. Look at that. Connie at Studio Konku. I like that pink one. I know. Those ones kind of look Korean. She's cute too. Oh my goodness. So there you go. There's some cuties. Oh, she's sweet. So you can find these on Knicknacks by searching our search bar right up here on knickknacks.net. Just type in Kokeshi dolls and you're good. Well, I mean, we're not looking at Temu. Of course, they're a little bit more spendy. These are legit. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at the real ones. All right, let me get back to our notes. Let me look back to our notes. All right. So, on that note, practice kindness. As always. And yeah, I think we have a few minutes for questions. And then I think we're going to call it a day. Oh, I don't think he does any more selling on there. He's kind of called it quits over there. Oh, as far as like expanding categories, I would just love to bring in some other. I'm about to fall off my stool. Bring in other categories. I know that Julie, I think I saw her in here, had mentioned possibly quilting, and we did get a message through help desk about adding categories. That's what I wanted to talk about. So I do have some ability. I've been giving a little bit more permissions to play with the categories. There's still a little bit of an issue. Like I can't fully mess with them, but I have a little bit more ability to edit the categories. I'm having trouble adding categories, but I'm able to edit the existing categories, and so I've been doing that. So you might see that the categories are changing a little bit. One thing I'm having to do is I'm having to update the existing categories, because if I get rid of any categories, everything that's tagged with that tag is going to be untagged, and then we would have to retag it. So it's kind of like a little bit of a process, but you will have seen I am updating tags. I think what we're going to do is I think I'm going to get rid of all of the zoo tags. I know like we've had those forever. But the zoo tags were specific to our zoo train that we had, and I think that they've just kind of created a lot of confusion. So I might do away with the zoo tags because they're just kind of like, I feel like they just busy up the whole tagging thing. Yeah. Yeah, they're just kind of, but I've added tags along the way as we've had trains. So there's certain tags that I think we can get rid of, and I previously couldn't delete them. I didn't have the ability to delete tags. So now that I have the ability to, I don't know if I do currently have the ability. I will have the ability to delete tags. And when I do, I'm going to just start deleting some of the ones that have been around for a while, like the zoo. Made in, I'm thinking of deleting made in because half the time people don't know where the things are made. Yeah, they're collections now. I know. I'm just so used to calling them tags. But I'm gonna be removing them once I have full power to start getting rid of. Yes. Logan was working on the blog. I think he has a few blogs ready. And I am the one who needs to finalize the website. That's on me. And I was having a few issues this weekend that prevented me from doing that. But once I finish the website, we should be good to go as far as the blog goes. Yeah, the made in were for Where in the World train, I think it was. That was why we did that. But now they're just kind of hanging out. So most of those tags were for a train, and now they're just there because I can't delete them. So it's 3 business days shipping. The shipping is business days. So if it was done on the weekend, if it's like a Saturday show, it would be business days. It would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is considered business days, yes. Cat, dog, and owl. Yeah, I think so. I was thinking of maybe breaking out cats and dogs. Maybe it would require some help from sellers to retag, but I was thinking maybe separating those out. Yes, I do know that some only ship once a week. Yeah, and but I think there's communication happening there, hopefully, and if not, maybe you can reach out to me. Shoes and purses, fantastic. I know that Great Eye and American Grown Up have been doing. Is it Thursday night clothing? I believe so. Thursday, yeah, Thursday, yeah. And I hope that's been doing well. Usually it's past my bedtime, honestly. Like I think one time I was like laying in bed and I was like, oh look, yep, okay, and then I passed out or something like that, because it's normally past my bedtime. Oh, is it 8 o'clock? Yeah, yeah. I think last week I did pass out at around 8 o'clock. That was when I was sick. Again. Signups for Fast Friday Freight will be or the announcement will be posted in the Gazette. It will be posted in the Gazette. Hair accessories category. Oh, I like that idea. Let me put that in here. Hair accessories. I know hair accessories, religious, more quilting categories were all suggestions. And like I said, I do have a little bit more power to create categories, but I don't have full power yet. So I'm getting a little bit closer. And then we will. Studio pottery is now pottery handmade. It's like pottery ... and then handmade. That's studio pottery. Oh, I don't know. Christina, where are you posting it? So Here, let me go through the tags with you guys real quick, and then I'm gonna call it. All right, let's do Niknax.net. I'm gonna pretend like I'm listing an item, and I'm gonna show you guys the new tags. Just give you a quick overview of the tags and how I've got them organized right now. To buy a now listing. Okay, here we go. Let me turn you around. Okay. All right, you can kind of see me. Here, I can zoom in. Maybe. Oh, it's frozen. Oh, that's too close. Here we go. All right, so animal alligator. Yeah, I see what you mean. All right, I'm gonna have more tags than you can see because I have tags that are exclusive to me. So if you see tags and you're like, what's that one? It's because it's just exclusive to me. So now we have like collectible Hot Wheels, collectible Pokemon, collectible Funko Pop. So I tried to put like a main category and then after that. So color, pink, color, red. So when you're searching for categories, it's a little bit more grouped together rather than alphabetical. You know what I mean? So pink's not under P, R for red. It's all under color. So you have all your color tags right under color. Decor, you're going to have lighting, metal, metal decor, brass, figures, stuff like that, decor vase, wood decor, let's see, ephemera, postage stamps. So I did play with them a little bit. There were some that I wasn't really sure how to categorize them. Seller Spotlight is when we were doing seller, weekly seller. Now we're just kind of doing like a monthly collection. So I'm just picking tons of different things from all different sellers rather than just doing a weekly seller. And I'm adding stuff continuously. So here is glass. We have a lot of glass categories because we have a lot of glass listed. Holiday, all under holiday, jewelry. So made by me is all of the mainly made categories. So if you are a mainly made artist, you'll probably be living completely in these categories, made by me. So these are all the things that if they are made by you, you will use these categories. Please do not use these categories if it is not made by you. Okay? Because we have a lot of people that have previously been using these categories for things that are not made by them, and it is very frustrating. Now, as far as the studio pottery, it's pottery handmade. So this is studio pottery. It's just under pottery. So this would essentially be studio. And I can add like studio, handmade, but this would be like pottery made by other people. 20 and under. Yeah, we can make that update too. But that's kind of where we're at. And those were just the updates I made. And then I would get rid of all of the zoo. And we'd start getting rid of these. And cleaning them up a little bit more. All right. So that's kind of the update on the tagging stuff. But I think on that note, I'm going to call it. I think mom's waiting for me. Yes, made by me pottery would be pottery made by you. Yeah. Versus pottery that is handmade by an artist. All right. I know it's confusing, but I don't really know how to lessen the confusion there. Pottery not made by you. Is that like, do I have to spell it out? Pottery not made by you? Pottery made by me. Oh, Elsie and Claudine's question. Okay, I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling. Okay, I might need you to repeat the question. Go ahead and repeat the question. Oh, okay. Hey, Mom, I'm just wrapping up. If you want to
Alright,
wait a second.
okay.
Yeah.
I've got some ideas for the Airbnb.
Oh, okay. Can we mention comp prices during our live show? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about comp prices. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the comp prices. Just say no. Just say no. I have mixed feelings. Just because I know that some sellers are like, they know what they're talking about, and they're like, oh, read my rationale. Oh man, I missed your rationale. Oh yeah, that's fine. As a seller, um, I'm okay with price quoting. It's when other people come into the sale and they're like, oh, you can get that this place. It's like as another member coming into your chat and saying, oh, you can get this somewhere else for less. That's what I meant. Yeah. If you are a seller and you are price quoting, please make sure that you are accurate, that you've done your research, because I don't want somebody being like, oh my gosh, this pen is worth $200 and you guys can get it right now for $10. So I'm going to start the bidding at 10. Not like that. Like, don't be inflating the values is what I'm saying. So because I know how much that pen is worth because I saw it on Amazon. I'm just kidding. All right. So on that note, I'm gonna come in price, please, Sonia. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm gonna end it there. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. You can download reports through your wallet. Any more questions, please direct them to FAQ. Remember, as always, if you have any questions like that you want to direct towards the help desk, any complaints, if you want to complain to me, if you want to come at me, if you please always come to me with your concerns. Otherwise it's gossip and we don't need to gossip. You can always just come to me. If you have a problem, bring it to me. We can talk about it. As always, community@knicknacks.net. I mean, it's just, at this time, it's just me, Mary, and Christina. And I'm cool with that. So we can talk, come at me, bro. We can talk about it. I don't ever want you to feel like you can't talk to me about things. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to call you out. We're adults. Yeah, pull up. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful day, and I will hopefully talk to you guys later. All right. Let's see who we can raid. Let's see. Brindy, Knicknack Jannywhack, or Ladybug Cottage. You know what? I think we did. Did we raid Brindy last week? I think we did. Or we have raided Brindy. We have raided Knicknack Jannywhack. So we're gonna head over to Pura because I don't think we've raided Pura in a while, if we raided her ever. So we're gonna raid Pura. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys.